of love on my last review. I appreciate it. There are a lot of people who, like me, are dedicated to this franchise, and a lot of you were encouraging me to keep on going. And like I said, as long as it's interesting to me, I will keep on going. The first episode was a little bit difficult to get through. This episode had a little bit more, so I'm happy to be here to talk about it with you guys. So let's get into this review of The Real Housewives of OC. Did you guys know that they were the first ones? Like, they are the oldest or the longest running housewife show on Bravo. I didn't know. I thought that Atlanta was first, or New York, but it's actually the OC. The OC is in their 13th season, and Atlanta just wrapped their 10th, and New Jersey's about to wrap their 10th. Not their New Jersey, New York. So wait, was New Jersey second? I don't know, but I didn't know they were the longest running one. So maybe that's why we're also dedicated, because they were our first introduction into this craziness, which is why Vicky is getting the most bank, because she's been with this franchise the longest. So yeah, congrats guys on getting another season, and keep on going for being the first and starting this whole messy housewife craze. Thank you all. Anyway, let's get into it. I'm with Eddie. I would not eat from Vicky either. Like, he saw that food and he was about to dig in. He saw it was for Vicky. He was like, I'm good. Tamara was eating that up and he was like, I'm not eating anything from her. I'd rather eat defecation from a dog. That was a little too far for me, but I agree with him. My grandmother always told me, don't eat from people who do not like you or who have done things to harm you, because you'll get their bad, in a sense, juju on that food and it'll make you sick. And that's actually happened to me before. I ate food from somebody who I did not know liked me, and I got deathly ill. And I'm not saying that she put roots on me, but that person's negative energy can transfer to like certain different things, and I believe it. I believe that her dislike for me, only dislike because I was winning, still am. She probably crying now. But I think that dislike, that negative, that dark energy was in that food, and it just did not sit right with me. And yeah, so I never, if I know somebody has a problem with me, I'm not eating nothing from you. I'm not drinking nothing from you. I'm not in your presence, because I know people, like, humans are so much more powerful than we really know. Like, we dumb ourselves down a lot, but we are living beings full of so much more. Like, we haven't even tapped into our greatness, and I really believe that a person's negative energy can affect not only them and their situation, but the people around them. So if you are like somebody who doesn't like me and carries the darkness against me, I don't rock with you. You'll never see me befriending a demon in a meat suit. Not this chick. No. Let me tell you something. When Kelly said that Michael would never pay for a trip for her to like go with her daughter, I said I knew it. I told y'all that when she decided to leave him, he closed that wallet up and he's taking everything in the divorce. He put her out and he got Kelly living in OC Section 8. Have you seen that apartment? No shade to Section 8. I've been trying to get on Section 8 since I moved out here, but now I make too much at this point. But let me tell you something. Everybody's on Section 8 out here. It's expensive to live in this city. So I ain't hating on it. But what I'm saying is, he made sure that she had nothing. Kelly's living situations cannot even compare to what she was living in before. That dude closed that wallet and he wants her to suffer because he feels used and he feels mistreated. Understandable. But that's what happens a lot of times. Not saying all, but a lot of times when these old dudes marry these young chicks. Like, how you don't know what this situation is, bruh? Like, you think that she's here because you're rapidly aging behind is fine. You got coin. You got bank. We're capitalists. This is how we survive. You should have known the game, Michael. And I can't allow myself to be okay with how he's treating Kelly financially, especially when she's taking care of his daughter full time. Like, you could at least let her stay in that home. Come on. So let's talk about Emily. You know who she gives me? Shoot, I just had her name. Hold on, let me find her name. She gives me Kelly LeBrock from where Kelly LeBrock today, not Kelly LeBrock back in the day. No shade, Emily, but you look like Kelly LeBrock older, like currently in Kelly, still beautiful, but she looks like her in the way she talks and how she does her lips and her lipstick. I'm like, that's Kelly LeBrock. That's a weird science chick. That's what she looks like. I think it's really sweet that her sister had all of her children for her. Like, so kind, because carrying a child is a lot of work, and for her to do that for her 3 times, yo, that's some love. That really, 3 or twice. Do they have twins? She probably carried twice for her, but even still, that's wonderful. And I'm glad that she did that. And I love the fact that she was the one who suggested it. She was just like, nah, you're not going to do this again. Because she probably saw her sister like crying and falling apart that she couldn't have kids. And she was just like, nope, I'm going to do it for you. What do we have to do? Sisters. I love that. And I love the fact that she wants that for her daughter because she knows how important it is to have sisters. I mean, if you don't have a sister, it's okay. But she knows from her own experience that it'll be really important for her daughter to have, or she really wants her daughter to have that same relationship that she has with her sister. Like, you can have, as a woman, your relationship with your brothers are different than your relationship with your sister. So she just wants her to have somebody in her corner and just to grow up with and share things with and experience life with after you stop fighting. Because, ooh, child, them sister fights are brutal as teenagers. They ease up in the 20s. Late 20s, but as teenagers, whew, the fights we have, my sisters, I love them, but the fights we have been in, brutal. But she's talking about later in life, so I get it. And I just feel bad for her because every time she talks about, I think she has 9 embryos left and they're all girls. Every time she talks about it, she breaks down crying. She really wants another child, but she has a partner that doesn't. So it's like, do I destroy my embryos and not at his wishes, but because I know I'm not going to have any more kids? Or do I hold on to him and try to convince him? And then it's like, then you put unnecessary pressure on your partner who doesn't want a child, but you're like guilting them down to having another child. Or do you hold on and wait and just see how this relationship works? Because she's always talking about divorce, how this relationship works, and then save them for the next marriage. Like, I don't know. Like, that's a really difficult situation to be in. And I think she's playing around with all those ideas. I really, really do. Because wanting another child, I don't think it's ever going to go away. You know what I mean? And that's going to be really hard for her to deal with because she has a strong feeling of a strong yearning and want and need to have another child. And her partner has a strong desire that is the total opposite. Woo! I would never want to be in that situation. I think it was really big of Shannon to invite Vicky down to Mexico. You know what I mean? Because they're working on repairing their relationship. And she made the invite for Vicky outside of Tamara, like, asking her to do it. Tamara wasn't even thinking about Vicky because she knows that her husband isn't rocking with her right now. So the fact that Shannon not only suggested it and said, you know what, I'm going to invite Vicky down because I have a special place in my heart with Vicky in Mexico. She invited us down. I want to invite her down. I want to start the healing. I thought that was really big of Shannon. I like this Shannon. I hate to say it. I like divorce Shannon. Is that so hard to, like, I feel bad. I feel bad for saying it, but it seems like she was in a really unhappy place in her marriage, and now that she's no longer feeling insecure in her own home, she's just like, I don't know, it's just easier to watch her on TV or on this show. Like, I couldn't take her when she was going through all that craziness with David, because she was just like snapping at everybody, and it was good TV, but it was like, oh girl, you are becoming an unlikable character. So maybe outside of David, she's just more enjoyable, and I feel bad for saying it, but divorce Shannon is better. It's sad. So I am Emily at the gym doing drills. I felt everything that she was feeling when she was passing out, struggling, lifting up, because I used to do CrossFit. When she was lifting up that tire, struggling, I used to struggle through all of those drills, and then I got good, and then I hurt my back, and now I'm back to square one. But I'm getting back into it, and stay tuned for that, because this week I want to be letting you guys into like my fitness journey and my health journey and all of that stuff. But I'm getting back to that, but I'm her right now, because I'm currently going through the drills again, not CrossFit, but just really, during intervals, and I'm Emily. I am Emily. I was like, girl, I feel your pain. Woo! Them drills ain't no joke. You're taking your heart rate up, and then speaking of heart rate, Eddie, Tamara, I know that he wants to be in the gym. I know that it's what he does, is who he is, but honey, you gotta sit him down. He gotta sit down. Maybe put him in like aqua aerobics or something like that. Have him do something that is intense but slow. Maybe put him into like slow Pilates. because Eddie just wants to be like this, Viking race kind of guy, because that's who he is. But it's like, dude, you want to live? Sit down. I know that's hard for a very active person to do. Like, that's why it took me a very long time to get my back healed, because I was so active. I just did not, I couldn't sit down, and I ended up injuring myself even more, and I was out for another year. I was 2 years recovering from a herniated disc because I didn't know how to sit down. Eddie, listen to your body, babe. Tamara, get him together. So, the new chick from New York. First of all, I can only hear New York when she says coffee, and I'm like, what? I just feel like she was making her being from New York a much bigger deal than people in Orange County. But anyway, something is up with her marriage. Is she the one that's getting a divorce? I think I read something somewhere where there's maybe it is her. Maybe she's the one getting a divorce currently, which makes sense. And are the Bravo cameras there for that? They there for everything else. Are y'all going to let us know what the hell happened to this marriage? Because something is up. Something is up. Like, she lives in Orange County. Her husband lives in LA and then works in like San Francisco sometimes, and he has an apartment in LA, and she's okay with it because she likes to walk around with no makeup and sweatpants. First of all, he don't want you without no makeup and sweatpants. But you gotta have a full beat face and have on lingerie to get banged and loved on by your husband? Sis, something is wrong. And she's like, it's okay. It works for us. It may not work for other people. I'm like, you only see your husband with, like, on the weekend, and it's sometimes, and you got 3 kids and you're doing it all alone as long as he pays for everything. What? And then he doesn't want his face shown? I'm like, something is up with this marriage. You are a grown woman with 3 kids doing it taking care of these kids by yourself. Your husband got an investing job or something like that, and an apartment in Thotlandia, and you're okay with it? Something in the water ain't clean. Something in the water ain't clean. So, Vicky, Eddie, and Tamara at dinner. First of all, Eddie was so uncomfortable. He did not want her to come. He was about to break. The side eye he gave to Tamara when she was like, she's on her way. And he was like, she's like, well, you didn't say anything. He was like, I don't want to eat with her. But anyway, Vicky shows up in a full fur. Like, Vicky is in the East Coast in the fall, and Tamara and Eddie are like in LA in the summertime. Like, it was weird. 2 different seasons. They even had to comment on it. Anyway, she comes in, and you know how Vicky is. Vicky has the same problem that Candace from the Real Housewives of Potomac has. She doesn't know how to apologize. Like, Vicky will not apologize for her issues without bringing up something that somebody else did to her to make her react that way. It's always, well, I'm sorry, but if you didn't do that to me, I would not have reacted that way. Or she's always blaming somebody else. It's like, oh, well, I was in love with the man that was lying to me and blah, 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 but you still did it. Who cares about Brooks? Tamara Ben saw Brooks from a mile away. You didn't see him. That is fine. You have to apologize for how you treated Tamara. You also have to apologize for, although you didn't spread the rumor about Eddie, you entertained it, Vicky. You had that dude come into your home, talk about Eddie being gay on camera. You knew what you were doing. Apologize for that. Eddie is better than me. I would never talk about Vicky. I would never talk to Vicky because that was wrong. And y'all know I love Vicky. But what she did to him was wrong. Like, Vicky was being messy. She was hurt. So she tried to get Tamara back even harder. And it was wrong. Like, she does. I don't like people groveling. But she really has to be on her P's and Q's with Tamara because she was wrong. What Vicky did to Tamara in her marriage and all that was wrong. That was absolutely wrong. To bring that messy guy on that show, you knew what you were doing when he was filming. You knew exactly what you were doing. And if you were her friend, but you were just hurt, you would have never done it. There is somebody who was a really good friend. Me and her fell out years ago over this new clique of friends that she was in that didn't like me. I don't understand how people don't like me. Only demons don't like me. Anyway, so they had an issue, and it's always, can I tell you, let me know if this is you. I always have people who are like jealous of me for some reason, and it's always people who I'm looking at like, you're doing so much better than me. What are you talking about? Like, you're jealous of me. You got a whole family. You got money's coming in. Like, and I'm not saying those things that I value, but I'm still trying to get to where I see myself. I feel like I'm still so far away from the promised land, right? But there are people who don't like me for things that I'm like doing that they think are amazing to them. So instead of like embracing that and celebrating that, they just get mad at me. And it doesn't make it, but I've been dealing with that since I was a freaking kid. I was a freaking kid who grew up in a single parent home, living in extreme poverty, father addicted to crack cocaine. I'm telling all my business, girl. You know, going from home to home to home to home. And not like that, like my mom was in the picture, but we had to continuously move because we just didn't have the money. I still had people bullying me for things. I had people bullying me because like I was obsessed with Punky Brewster, and my mom with her hard-earned money bought me some Converse sneakers, and like colorful Converse sneakers, and the kids in my school hated that I was able to get Converse sneakers because we all were like really, really poor. So they hated that I had Converse and everybody had Bobos. Y'all remember Bobos? Bobos, they make your feet feel fine. Bobos, they cost $1.99. Bobos. So that's what everybody was wearing. But my mom, you know what I mean? Although we didn't have it, she wanted to give us the best. And I wanted Converse, and she struggled to get me those Converse. And I went into school the next day, and I had kids stepping on my feet, messing them up. And then I had to give them to my mom, and my mom was like scrubbing them. And it happened again, so I had to get to the point where I couldn't even wear my freaking Converse to school. Like, that's the stuff we deal with. We lived in the projects, and people wanted to fight my mom because we lived on the first floor. And, you know, if you live on the first floor, that means, like, you made it. And you know what I mean? In the projects, people were just like, how did you just move here and you got a first floor apartment? You're not better than us. Like, that's the stuff that I've always dealt with my entire life. So, I said all of that to say, I put all my business out on Front Street to say that me and a really good friend fell out over, you know, whatever she was doing with her company she was keeping. And to this day, I've never said anything bad about her. Still love her. We're in a different place now. You know what I mean? Like, I saw something in her during that time, and I didn't want to repair the friendship because I didn't want to allow somebody like that so close to my heart to do the same thing. You know what I mean? So it's like, I still love her. There's no anger there. You know, we're adults, we've moved on, it is what it is. We just will never be friends like that again, right? But even though we went through that really dark time, and as much as I was hurt by what was happening, I never said anything that could destroy her marriage. I never, you know, did anything so harmful to her. And what Vicky did to Eddie and Tamara was very harmful. Very, very harmful. And she needs to feel so thankful that they are even allowing her to sit at the same table with them, because she has not been kind. She has not been kind. And then to bring up Deuteronomy to try to like guilt them into feeling bad, I'm like, put the Bible down, honey. Just say sorry. Even Kelly was trying to coach her in it, and she was just like, well, you know, she turned on me, honey, forget all that. And then you turned on me, Eddie. You came here to apologize. Why are you talking about how these people turned on you? She just, like, she's in this state where she's constantly a victim, and I think that makes her feel okay about doing certain things, because it's just like, well, I helped Brooks with a cancer scam because I wasn't loved and I didn't have anybody, and everybody turned against me, and I was in love with this man. No, sweetie, you helped him with a cancer scam. Apologize for that. Apologize to even Megan, who was dreadful last season, but she was right. You know what I mean? Apologize for, you know, bringing this guy into your home and putting him on camera, knowing that he was going to say that messy stuff about Eddie. He would have never had a camera in his face had you not wanting to be messy and harm that couple. Just apologize for that. And I applaud Tamara, who was sitting there taking it. She did not even fight Vicky back when she was just like, you turned against me. And I was like, we all watched the season. We all watched the seasons prior. Tamara was struggling to even say anything about Brooks because Vicky was so defensive of him. Like, blindly defensive. It's not okay. And the fact that she's still rocking with you is huge. Just apologize, girl, and move forward. But she don't know how to do it. She is always the victim, and that's the one thing I do. Well, there's a few things that I can't really rock with Vicky on. We'll talk about that later with the Kelly situation. But this I didn't like. And I was so proud of Tamara and Eddie for even giving her the time of day, because they did not have to at all. So Kelly Emily, at this, first of all, that dress was cute. She looked cute in that dress. That was a really nice dress. And as somebody who is has a larger bust, it gave me hope. Because she a big titty broad, and she looked really cute in that dress. So I was like, okay, go ahead, Kelly LeBrock. But she looked really cute. And I wanted to talk about this moment because she was trying to like talk like dirty to her husband, her Mormon husband on camera, and he was so uncomfortable. He was so uncomfortable with the whole thing. And she's like, do you get what I'm saying? He's like, I get it. I get it. Like, he did not want to have that conversation on camera. But Emily was trying to open up, and I'm like, girl, don't do it. Not with him. And then again, she brought up the embryos, and I'm like, oh, I feel bad for her. I don't know, guys. I'm hoping their relationship can last with her wanting to have more children. I'm hoping. Because I don't know them, and I don't want nobody marriage to break up, but not even a but. I don't want anybody's marriage to break up. That's good. That's healthy. She's really hung up on having a child. Every time she talks about those 9 embryos, guys, she cries. Like, it is fresh with her. So I don't know. He's so adamant. He's like, nope, be happy with the ones you got now. And I'm not saying he's heartless, but as strong as she is on her feelings for wanting another child, he's really strong in his feelings for not wanting another child. And it's also, this is what you also have to deal with a partner who already has children from another marriage, because he's thinking, I'm going to have like, 5 or 6 kids, and she's thinking I'm going to have 4 or 3, right? 3 or 4. But it's not, so to him, he's like, that's a lot of people I have to take care of because I'm the provider. But if you're wealthy and you don't need to work, what's the problem? And what does Emily do for her occupation again? I don't know. What is she? Oh, an attorney. I'm sorry, I forgot, because she never mentions what she does. Now we get to the final scene and the most powerful episode as part of this episode, in my opinion, because I was really riding for Kelly. I felt bad for her. I really, really did. I don't like what Vicky did, and I feel bad because I feel like Kelly is constantly always trying to be a friend to Vicky. And Vicky, I told y'all in my previous reviews that Vicky was only being this good friend to Kelly because her and Tamara were on the outs. And her and Tamara do it. They do this to all the cast members. When Vicky and Tamara are on the outs, they start making relationships with other women on the show and becoming besties with them all of a sudden until they make up, and then all of a sudden they start trashing. Not trashing, but they don't treat, like the mask is off, and they don't treat the other ladies the same way they were treating them before Vicky and Tamara became good friends again. Like, they throw everybody away when they are solid again, and it's not healthy, it's not fair. And I knew this was going to happen to Kelly. I know, like, coming up in the season, what's going to happen to Shannon. Vicky and Tamara are getting back together again, and they don't need you anymore. Like, Vicky doesn't need you anymore, Kelly. Her and Tamara is in a good place. Eddie's okay with her now, so she doesn't need you anymore. And that's why she talked to Kelly that way. And I felt really bad for her, because although Kelly is okay with Michael dating and moving on, and she wants him to find somebody else, and maybe she was just saying that to sound tough and not really mean it, because I felt like she was really outraged by Vicky's reaction, because I feel like she really talked to her and told her her true feelings off camera. And you know, while they weren't filming, I felt like they were really, because like, they had a bunch of pictures on both of their Instagrams of them hanging out. So I think she was really hurt by Vicky, and I would be too. Like, to me, that's like an extreme violation of girl code, because although me and this dude are divorcing, I was the one who left the marriage. I'm done. I'm out of it. You was my good girlfriend. Not only did your home and your barbecue that you invited him to, didn't tell me about it, not only was it the place where he met somebody else that he is now dating, not only that, but you also went out on double dates with them several times and never said anything. You wouldn't know him had it not been for me. So why all of a sudden is Vicky having like this loyalty to Michael over Kelly, who was supposed to be her really good girlfriend? I didn't like it. And I especially didn't like Vicky's reaction. I would have been okay if she would have been like, you know what? Seeing it now, I'm sorry, that wasn't right. I thought I was protecting you because I knew it would hurt you. Now seeing how you are, and I think Kelly was even looking for that. Kelly would have forgiven her had Vicky apologized, but Vicky doesn't know how to apologize. I also think that Vicky was keeping a good relationship with Michael because he's money. And that's how they are in these privileged communities. Kelly don't got the money. So Vicky's loyalty is not to broke Kelly, it's to Michael, who has the money, because at the end of the day, he's going to need insurance. So it's just good business for her to stay in a good place with him. She doesn't want to shut him down and cut him out of her life when he has, you know, something that she can benefit from financially for her business, for her paycheck, for her life. You know what I mean? So she doesn't want to mess up that relationship. And Kelly doesn't have a coin, so she doesn't really have any loyalty to her. She also doesn't have any need for her anymore because Vicki and Tamara are now in a good place. So it's sad. It's sad, and I didn't like that. I didn't like what Vicki did. I didn't think it was okay. I really wish that, you know, Vicki would have talked to Kelly and, you know, apologized. She didn't have to tell her that, listen, Michael got bank. I'm not trying to mess up a wealthy relationship. You know, I'm not trying to have an issue with somebody who has money in this place where I live off of people, wealthy people who buy my insurance. You know what I mean? So I don't want to mess up that relationship. That's business. I think Kelly would totally understand that. She didn't even have to tell Kelly on camera. She could have told her off camera, but she should have at least given her the apology because she was wrong. And then to do the whole, I don't talk to people who talk like that, who say I roll. I didn't like that either because it seemed really coded for me. And I didn't like how she was trying to maybe make Kelly seem low class because she used the word roll. And I didn't like it. I didn't like her. And I also didn't like how she mimicked her behavior. It was ugly. I didn't like Vicki this episode. I didn't like the things that she did. I didn't like how she did not fully accept responsibility and apologize to Tamara and Eddie. And I truly disliked the way she treated Kelly. I didn't like it. I didn't like her coded behavior and words. I didn't like it. It was ugly. What did you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below, because I had a real problem even talking about it. I'm still just like, ooh, it was ugly. Kelly was bawling. And she was like, you know, Vicki, just go. She was really hard. She even said it. She said, I'm heartbroken. I really felt bad for Kelly. And since we're here, can we talk about how Kelly is not trying to let go of that beautiful furniture from her old home? She has put everything from that like 3-story house into this 2-bedroom apartment, and it looks tight in there. And then I just feel so bad because you can see like her beautiful like bedazzled sconces that she has, and you know, her Mongolian, you know, side chair, and that beautiful glass and gold table. And then you see her old kitchen. She even mentioned it. She was like, oh, it's old, and she's trying to make something out of nothing. And I feel bad. The girl is broke. Her really good friend that she thought she had is turning on her. It's a lot, you know what I mean? Like, she's happy to be out of that marriage, but she's starting to deal with the reality that she's not going to have the same lifestyle that she had when she was with Michael. And that's unfortunate. It really, really is. I feel bad for her. Oh. Anyway, that's where it ends. Next week's episode looks interesting. I'm gonna stick with it. If you guys are sticking with me, I'm gonna stick with this season. And if you like what you see here, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And let me know what you think about this episode in the comments section below. I'll join you there. See you soon, guys. Bye.